was a story put out by a paper in Minnesota that they're looking at ways of determining and quantifying how high a person is if they get pulled over in a DUI situation. The article's pointing out that, hey, just because you have this device that's saying it can detect how much cannabis is in a person's body some way or another, it does not at all mean the person was high on cannabis and couldn't drive, or that their vision was impaired, or that their cognitive abilities were impaired. It doesn't mean any of these things. The amount of cannabis in a person's system can vary between person to person on how much it affects them. One person can take 5 milligrams and be out of commission for a while another person can take 500 milligrams and not really even notice it. It's just everybody has a different physical composition. And so that's a major part of this. It isn't like alcohol, they're saying, where you can determine, quantify an amount of alcohol in a blood level that's going to determine an intoxicated situation. It doesn't work that way with cannabis. It's not alcohol. It doesn't work the same way. And the feeling of euphoria isn't being drunk ever. In fact, the data suggests that people who use cannabis when driving are less susceptible to road rage and also have less of a problem with monotony on the road with driving so long, that they have more of an alert presence in the car while driving, it says, unless they're a brand new smoker. In that case, I guess there is some data that supports people who are new to cannabis probably shouldn't drive. But veteran cannabis users typically don't get high like new people. They just use cannabis because cannabis is medicinal, and that provides some sort of benefit, often for pain or for anxiety, some other kind of thing. These devices that are packaged to determine whether a person has cannabis in their blood if they're being pulled over, it makes for a great headline, the article's saying, and the municipalities like what they're saying on paper, but the reality is it doesn't really suggest that a person wasn't able to drive because of cannabis if they get a positive reading from one of these highly technological devices. Also in news, New Jersey has a legal cannabis program, and they have a situation where the people who want to get involved in the cannabis program have to have a meeting with the community, and the community can say yes or no, I guess, to whether they want the cannabis operation in their neighborhood. But what they're saying is now it doesn't make it so they can say no without giving a reason. They have to provide some sort of reason when they're going to deny a cannabis entity from entering their town as a town business, as a local business registered within the town. It says that they can't just say no. They have to say there's some documented reason we feel that it would be having a negative impact in our community if we had your cannabis business here. Also in news, the Department of Transportation has issued a warning to people who are participating in that type of work that if they are found to have cannabis or other drugs on a test by these people who, the SAPs who are there to, substance abuse professionals who are there to find out if these people have had a drug interaction, especially after an accident or something. It says if they pop the test, it doesn't matter what they say, or if they say they're using medical marijuana, or if they had a poppy seed, it doesn't matter. They're going to be still held liable for that test. So be very careful. Don't eat poppy seed bagels, and don't use any cannabis CBD that might have THC. Because if you pop your test, you're out of work. Thanks for watching The Wash.
Thank you for watching The Wash Daily.
The Wash Daily is viewer-supported and a voluntarist effort to help combat disinformation about cannabis.
Machugusto e subscribe bao KPI.